Hello, hi boys and girls. This is Hanson here. So now we get to move on to math, and we are starting a whole new lesson this week, and we're going to go a little fast because we need to then introduce different shapes for next week too. So we're going to learn all about shapes, 2D shapes and 3D shapes. So we're going to start out with 2D shapes. 2D shapes are flat. See how this is flat? And this has how many sides? Let's count them. One, two, three, four sides. And two sides are long and two sides are shorter. So this is called a rectangle, right? And then we have another shape that is flat. It also has one, two, three, four sides, but all the sides are equal. So since all the sides are equal length, this is called a square. You guys see the difference between a square and a rectangle? Two long sides and two short sides, all sides equal. So in our, we're going to need our My Math book. So you're going to need your My Math book, a pencil, and an orange crayon and a blue crayon. Okay? I went through, so 623 is where we're going to be in our book for our lessons. But right here on 613, I went through and there's a page right after this one with all of the flashcards. So I went through and cut out these flashcards. So if you guys want to do this too, so you guys can practice your shapes, and then they have the words on the back for you guys to trace, okay? So I'm going to show you them, and then we're going to say what they are. So we have our shape, we have a triangle. So we have like a yield sign like you'd see on the street. That's a triangle. And then you can just write triangle on the back. We have a what shape? A circle, like a wheel. Oh, what am I doing? And this is what shape, what kind of sides does this have? Round sides. So a circle has round sides. Straight. So like a square and rectangle have straight sides. Is this worm straight? Pencil straight? Yes. Oh, there's a blank one in there. There's a couple blank ones in there. So this is called a vertex. So the corners of our rectangles or anything that has straight sides like rectangles, triangles, hexagons, those types of shapes, this is called a vertex. So let's say it together. Vertex. If you have more than one, so if we're talking about, if I say how many vertices does this have, that's more than one vertex. So if we were talking about just the corners, which are the vertex, one, two, three, four. So this has four vertices. Vertices is what it means when there's more than one vertex. You say vertices, vertices. Crazy words, Mrs. Hanson says, huh? Now we have a rectangle. So we can see this picture is in the shape of a rectangle. Then we have our square. So this sign right here is in a square. So it has all the same length sides, and they're straight sides, right? And then these are called our sides. So remember, this is called a vertex, and this is called a side. So the corners are the vertex, flat side. The same thing, side. And then we have a hexagon. A hexagon has one, two, three, four, five, six sides. Let's see how many vertices it has. One, two, three, four, five, six vertices too. So, and this is a little tool. I don't know what it's called. I'm not going to guess because I'm sure you guys are going to laugh at me if I try to guess what this thing is called. So this is a hexagon. So with our lesson, we are going to do 623, 624, 625, and 626, the back. So you're going to need these 2 pages, and we're going to work through the first page together, and then you guys are going to do the rest on your own. So lesson 1 is just squares and rectangles. I can't find my pen. Oh, there it is. So you guys are going to need your pencil for this, oh, and you're going to need crayons for this first part. So the directions say use squares and rectangles. So I have a square and a rectangle. Trace the shapes. You guys don't have the shapes, so you guys are just going to have to draw the shapes best you can. Squares need equal sides, rectangles, 2 short sides and 2 long sides, okay? And then it says, identify the shapes by coloring the squares blue and the rectangles orange. So Mrs. Hanson is going to show you a shape. If it's a square, you're going to color it blue. So I'll show you what we're going to do. So what is this guy? It's a rectangle, 2 long sides, 2 short sides. So anywhere on your little front part, you're going to draw your rectangle. Make sure you have your 2 sides long and your other 2 sides short. So Mrs. Hanson drew her rectangle right there. And then since it's a rectangle, you are going to color it orange. So draw your rectangle and color it in orange. Next we have a square. So anywhere on your paper, on the front, you can draw your square, and you want to try to make your sides as even as possible. And then you're going to color that square in blue. Square is blue, rectangle is orange. Next one, what shape is this? Square. So wherever you want on your paper, you're going to draw your square. Then you're going to color that in blue. Next one, what shape is this? A rectangle. So wherever you want on your paper, you can draw your rectangle. And rectangles, we are going to color orange. Next one. What shape is this? Rectangle, 2 long sides, 2 short sides. So wherever you want, you can draw your rectangle. And then you're going to color that in orange. So right now I have 1, 2, 3 rectangles, and I have 1, 2 squares. What shape? Square. So then I'm going to draw my square wherever I want, and since it's a square, I'm going to color it in blue. So I want you to have 3 squares and 3 rectangles on the front. Your squares are colored blue, and your rectangles are colored orange. Now it says describe the shapes using words like longer sides and sides that are the same length. How many sides does each shape have? So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4. See how many sides our square has? 1, 2, 3, 4. How many vertices does it have? 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So squares and rectangles have the same amount of sides, same amount of vertices. The difference is square sides are equal. The rectangle has 2 long sides and 2 short sides. Okay? All right, so now we're going to flip over to page 624, and you guys are going to do this on your own. So number 1, name the shape. The shape. And then you're going to trace the number of sides and vertices. So we already talked about it has 4 sides and 4 vertices. What is the shape? You're going to say the shape. How many sides? How many vertices? 4 vertices, 4 sides. Perfect. Now down here, number 3, it says name the shape. Describe it. We have a square. It has 4 sides, 4 vertices, all equal sides. Compare the shape to each shape in the group. So what are these shapes? you are going to circle the matching shapes. So you're going to circle all the shapes that match that shape. Number 4, name the shape. Describe it. 4 vertices, 4 sides, 2 long sides, 2 short sides, right? Then compare the shapes to each of these objects. So these are like real world objects, right? So what are these? Circle the objects that are the same shape. Okay? So circle the ones that are the same here. Circle the ones that are the same down there for that shape. Same thing we're going to be doing. Now we are on page 625. What is the shape? Describe it. So whoever you are working with, tell them, what's that shape? How many vertices does it have? And how many sides does it have? Then compare it to these shapes. Circle the matching shapes. So you're going to do the same thing for 5. You're going to do the same thing for 6. What's the shape? Tell whoever you're with how many sides, how many vertices, and compare it and circle the ones that it matches. Down here for number 7, you're going to do the same thing. What's the shape? How many sides, how many vertices? Circle the ones that it matches. All right. Then we have our back, 626. And it says number 8. You are going to draw rectangle-shaped food on the plate. So you're just going to draw some rectangle-shaped food on here. It looks like we have some cheese and some graham crackers. You can just draw some rectangle shapes on there for your food on that plate. Down here, we're going to draw some square-shaped foods on this plate. So it looks like we have Cheez-Its and those pretzels are squares. So draw some squares down here on this plate, rectangles on this plate, and then I want you to tell whoever's working with you what is the difference between the rectangles and the squares. Okay, what's the same and what is the difference? Okay, so you're going to be doing a lot of talking and explaining, but also you're going to show me on your page, on your paper, that you know the difference between rectangles and squares. Okay, so that is all we have to do today for our math lesson with rectangles and squares. And then you also have your flashcards to practice too. So I hope you guys have a great day, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye, guys.